He was on tour, and we decided we just had to marry and see each other.
But you had to jump through the family hoops to do that.
Oh, yes.
And
yes,
facing her family.
I'm not sure I can hold it absolutely steadily.
Well, that's okay. The shot will be relatively
short, so let's just go for it here.
I'm weaving. Wonderful. She was small and cozy and sentimental and very peppy and loved people. And when she was in college, she and Hoagy Carmichael were good friends and used to play double piano. So we grew up with a lot of Hoagy Carmichael's music, Stardust and all of this wonderful ones he wrote that were not very popular. My mother played the piano all through my growing up.
We're delighted that you did, but what happened that brought you here today and with the lights and the camera and experiencing the business of re-examining your life?
This is not something I've done, and it's not something I even like to do. But Patrick Brent asked me if I would, and I immediately said no. I said, my children all know my life story, I've written it for them, and I really don't want to do that, Patrick. So he said, well, you're my very first challenge, because if I ask other people to do it, I need to know how to get around this. So he said, you're my first challenge, and let me try this now. He said, Jane, how would you like to have a video of your grandmother sitting in a chair in some living room talking to you? And I said, Patrick, that did it. Of course I would, of course I would. She died when I was 2. I would love to have a picture of her talking to me.
Special from my point of view, to have a wonderful video, and in 25 or 30 years to be sitting there and be able to put on a video and to reflect on some memories and things. I think that would be a very nurturing experience. So
Should be
I would
good for
love it.
families.
So
Good for
Some things about this experience and how it's been for you. What was your initial reaction when you were first asked to do this?
Well, my first thought was I have nothing to offer. In other words, I visualized this as a thing done for celebrities, people who had large accomplishments and should outline them. And I had no large accomplishments, so I thought, gee, I have no place doing that.
What changed your mind?
Talking to the girls, to my daughters, because they said they wanted it. They weren't interested in the fact that I had never ruled the world. They simply wanted to know me and know more about me. So that put a whole new slant on it.
How did you feel about the questionnaire that you were given to complete? Was that a burden, or was that
No,
acceptable?
no burden at all. It was helpful in organizing my thoughts. I made some additions and subtractions, which you already know about.
Was there a major investment in time in order to assemble the artifacts that we had the pleasure of seeing at the beginning in the overture?
Well, it took time. It took one evening is what it did last night. We spent the evening digging them out and putting them on the table.
How about the process itself? Did you find the procedure comfortable or difficult? And what would you change if you could change it?
Actually, it came off much easier than I expected. There was a minimum of confusion, everything orderly, straightforward, no embarrassment or anything of the kind. So it came off, if you want to, in a word, better than I expected.
So you did fundamentally feel comfortable about it?
Oh yeah, once we got into the thing. Beforehand, when I looked at all the elaborate equipment, I thought, uh-oh. But once we were into it, it went easily and well. Mm-hmm.
And if you were being asked by an associate, a friend, or a neighbor, or anybody whom you respect and like, whether or not you'd suggest that they do this, what would you say to them?
I would say there's no reason